Where is it?
The store robbery with BCB.
So we had
Dealing with a
I'm willing to
situation.
trade you a turbo, for context. We had a scene about what day? Probably like 6 days ago, where we had 295s. Very serious scene. We split it, BCSO and LSPD, as we should, cooperating with each other because that's what we love doing. That might be the gauntlet, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Was that the gauntlet? I thought
I
it
think
was.
it might have been.
Thought it was black. That has
I've
a.
never seen that before. Never seen that before.
So we had both suspects. Sorry, one each. But they wanted the same lawyer. So Bradford and I agreed that we bring them both to MRPD so that we could allow them to be processed by the same lawyer. Though we came to the agreement, Bradford and I, that both departments should split the kickback for the fine. Loki witnessed this. What I'm asking is that we get our half of that billing in exchange for the turbo. I don't need money myself, but I would like my department to get the money that they would have got had I processed up north. Given that Senior Officer Bradford agreed that is what should have been done, I just haven't been able to contact anyone from High Command. Of course, I would let you, confirm that with Bradford and Loki if you'd wanted to, if you didn't take my word for it, but I could have you take a look at the report too.
So you want me to transfer money from the LSPD to the BCSO for processing someone?
We put it in layman's terms, sure, yeah, but and I guess for the trouble, I would give you a turbo. I'm not saying this is the only way I'll give you a turbo. I'll still sell you a turbo if you want, but rather than me making money, it seems like a fair compromise.
I mean, if that's what you guys agreed upon, then it's fine. I'll have to speak to Loki and Bradford about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to wait till they're around.
Yeah, no
but
problem.
that doesn't really make sense as far as the payment of the turbo, because if that was already agreed upon.
No, I mean, I'll just give you, like, for the trouble of you having to figure this out and do it, I'll just give you the turbo. I didn't, I was going to give you the turbo regardless, but you're adamant about buying it off of me. So I guess your time would be the form of service or the form of payment for this.
Why wasn't this brought up before? When did this happen?
I brought it up to Captain Sky, but her and I don't really cross paths much. I didn't want to jump to you or Peters. I wanted to go through Sky first, who I would assume is the first, I guess, in line dealing with money. For LSPD. I assumed it was above sergeants, and I don't think you have any lieutenants.
What incident is this?
It is incident 8686, El Queenie. El Queenie was my 95. She was charged 125,000, and Silvio Moretti was Bradford's 95. He was charged 27,000. I'm not asking for all of Queenie's. I'm not asking for the 25% in totality for Queenie. I'm just asking, and we agreed upon that we would just split it 50-50.
So you want 50% of the 25% fee off of El Queenie.
I think we agreed the total, but if you want to just do that, then that's fine, I guess.
Wait, what was the total?
It'd be 150 total for both, split down the middle. So it was both departments equally played a part. Actually, Crystal, did you process Silvio?
Wait, what do you mean 150?
Including Silvio's fine.
We don't. You want 50% or 25% of 150.
So, because had I processed the BCSO, we would have got the total 25% of 125, right? Queenie's fine? So instead of me trying to, get that whole 25%, which would be What is that? What's the math on that? Fucking 30 something K. Mathing it. Hang on, I'm mathing. Instead
Where
of getting
did
it's like 30 something. We wanted to split down the middle, so instead it's going to be 12.5% of 150, which is what, 18K, 19K.
so this incident started on Bay City Avenue, ended on Strawberry Avenue. Is that correct?
Yep, but went all throughout the city.
Went all throughout the city. You know, I think that this is actually a very good example because just had a conversation with somebody earlier today about the issues pertaining to processing suspects up in Blaine County when they're arrested in Los Santos County.
What are those issues?
That if somebody's arrested in Los Santos, they should be processed in Los Santos. This is a good point. Thank you for thank you for bringing this up to me. You know, I'm gonna review this and think about how this applies.
Do you have examples of those issues, Chief Moss?
Well, one big one is when we have a split scene and we end up getting different charges for different people who commit the same crime.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think split scenes are really the issues that, you know, for example, there was one incident where 3 people at MRPD all got charged with different things. So I don't think a split between departments was the issue there.
But the main thing is that if somebody commits a crime in Los Santos, they should be processed in Los Santos.
Why?
Because they committed the crime here in the city.
So previously agreed upon, as long as they're charged with Los Santos laws. What's the difference?
What's the difference is that I think they should be processed here.
That goes against what you said in the past, though. What has changed?
What has changed? I've gotten to spend more time here. You know, previously when we had these conversations, you know, it was probably within my first week as chief, and now that I've gotten to spend some time in this role and see how how things operate, I'm leaning now the fact that if somebody commits a crime here, they should be processed here. I wouldn't expect LSPD officers to bring suspects down to the county, or excuse me, Los Santos County, if they committed a crime in Blaine County.
Yeah, I guess what I'm asking is, you know, since you're talking about how, you know, previously you were new to the position, new to the city, and whatnot. I'm asking, what have you concluded on since then? What new developments have come to light that have made you sway this decision?
Well, like I said, you know, a big part of it is when we do have the huge scenes and they're split between the 2 different precincts, and then people aren't getting properly charged. I think that that's a big issue.
I think that's error of officer. That has nothing to do with location. We have radios that can communicate. We have voices. We have 301s. I feel like blaming that on location of processing is ignoring the actual issue.
You don't think that it wouldn't be helpful if everybody was in the same place and they could just communicate together, and that the scene lead was...
I don't understand how communicating in person or versus the radio makes a big difference.
Don't think communicating would help with processing issues?
I think that capable officers can communicate over radio to one another. I've done it. Viv is talking right now. I've done it with Viv numerous times. We did it with Cypress. Everything went flawlessly. Cypress, the scene that I led down in Cypress, where 10 suspects were shot down and only 4 officers, you know, we processed that split between both departments, and that went flawlessly. So if you're saying that it causes issues, and I'm giving you examples when it doesn't, then maybe it's...
I mean, I'm great. I'm glad that you're very capable and that you can lead that scene and processing. That's great.
Point being, sorry, Chief Boss, I don't mean to cut you off, but
you
point
did.
being, capable officer should be able to do it and can do it. Though location of processing is not an issue. It's the officer that's the issue for the most part. You can't blame people processing like inaccurately on the fact that nobody was in front of them in person for that. It's up to them to make sure their charges are correct and accurate, and whether that be calling somebody on the phone over radio or being there in person, it makes no difference.
Can you put it in
Yeah,
emote mode? Well, I still have some things to review with this.
Chief, what I'm more concerned about this path you're thinking of taking is that if you have to process within the jurisdiction, it'll just lower PD's morale and make them less likely to assist each other. Wanting to do that when it's already down bad as it is. I think the most important part is just cops wanting to be able to work together without having to think about that. Yeah.
I do hear what you're saying, Crystal. I
mean, why did you become chief? I mean, in a way, like, what made you want to become it?
What?
From what I heard before, you wanted everyone to kind of be more united to be able to want to come on duty.
That's still what I want. Hold on one second.
But from everything I'm hearing, it sounds like it's going to create more of a divide, and that's not going to be able to, like, really help benefit each other.
Sure.
I'm just thinking more of the feeling side of things, is all. I understand maybe that could potentially be good. I don't know.
You know, I won't go into the discussions between high command members out of respect for your high command, but you know, this is something that we need to sort through, and gosh darn it, one sec. Sorry, I have a bit of a sore throat today. But regardless, I appreciate your feedback. We'll think this over.
Yeah, I do want to let you know, I've been part of plenty of scenes. I've been processing a lot, and there's barely been any issues between just taking them either to MRPD and BCSO. Sometimes it actually helps, for example, gang shootings, where there's two groups. From like I feel like it'll just kind of, yeah. Just make people not want to process and not want to do their job.
I just hope that before you, maybe, assuming you go down this route, I hope before that you mention this to our high command, you think very thoroughly on the impact this is going to have, the divide it's going to cause, the effect it's going to have with responding units, and people are going to be less willing to provide their aid and put all their effort into reports, and this is going to be a tear in the city. And
which units are you speaking about specifically? About BCSO?
It might go both ways. I can guarantee if there was a big scene up north and LSPD had to come help BCSO, and they were like, well, they weren't going to get anything back for it for the department, then why would they put that much care and effort into the reports right now when there's people who have to work for the departments, and I personally have to come down south and and help LSPD, which I'm glad to do. I love doing it. I don't want to stop doing it. When I process the 95, if I'm making my department money, I'm putting all my effort in that report, and I'm willing to help, and I'm willing to process scenes and take all the evidence as I should. But like, if something's gonna happen up north and you have some selfish officer who's not going to get anything out of it, and they're just going to have to do the work for nothing for the department, they might not go that extra mile. I'm not saying it will, but it might not, and it's a possibility that might happen if there's a divide. It seems needless, and it seems like it's the opposite of what you've initially said you were about, which was unity. I don't understand why you're sort of thinking this way right now, but I just hope that you think this and you think this through, because this is something that's sort of irreversible if you do go this route. Yesterday it was only BCSO on duty for an hour and a half.
I saw that.
And we were in the city responding to cash exchanges and laundromats. And now you're telling us that you think we should figuratively come work down here for free for no benefit to our department when there's no LSPD on duty. Clean up the cash exchanges, clean up the shootings, process in your departments, give the LSPD money, and then fuck off back north until something else happens?
I mean, is there nothing going on in Blaine County? I mean, is there not crime?
Or everything else going down south?
I know. I'm just asking, like, what goes on in Blaine County?
We respond based off significance and danger level. If there's a cash exchange down south, I'm not going to go respond to somebody dropping off a moonshine bottle in Sandy. I need to go secure the hostage. We have to always prioritize life. It's not our fault that the majority of the high threat and high risk to life calls are happening in the city recently. We're operating with what we have. If you're telling us you want us to stay up north and respond to moonshine all day, we will do it. But
no, I'm not telling you that.
I mean, this is the route that I see you going. And listen, I know you won't admit to it, and I can't prove it, but I guarantee you said you've been talking to somebody. That somebody is Nino, because Nino has been wanting us out of the city since day fucking one.
I've heard this thing happening initially about like we catch them in the south, they get processed in the south. I think it's like human nature to, like, you know, when you feel like your efforts aren't like you put all your effort in for something and like you don't really get anything out of it, makes you not want to do it. And I'm having to as well. I'm one of the people who, if I feel like I have to do something, then I don't want to do it. I want to be able to do what I want. And when I feel like, okay, I feel like I'll take a cadet out. I love taking cadets out. If someone tells me, hey, take a cadet out, or I feel like I have to take him out, I probably would not want to do that. Well, I'm speaking on feelings, my badge. I'm just saying, like, things put in place can really affect person's feelings and change how they, you know. I just don't want to see any other officers not want to, you know, feel bad.
Just make sure that if this happens and you get pushback from it and you have to eat the brunt of the fallback, it's because of a decision you made on your own and not something you were talked into. Because it's going to feel a lot worse if the city's up in flames and this was not something you wanted at all.
Well, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll go continue to patrol the city. I mean, am I good to process up north?
Nope. Yeah. I haven't changed anything.
Okay. Well, we'll continue to do that until we're told not to.
Yeah. Chief, I urge you on what's best for the PD. I just hope you don't lose sight of that.
Just ask yourself if that's even best for the LSPD. Now, don't even think about us, but ask yourself truly if you think that's best for the LSPD or not. Because I guarantee it's in the best for both departments for us to work together and to operate as we are now, which is, for one, not even what we wanted to begin with, but we're trying to make do with what we have. I would much rather be able to process down here and not have to worry about my department going broke, but I can't. So I'm just a result of circumstance right now.
Sometimes we gotta help each other up first before we can start like walking on our own. I mean, like department-wise in this case, we still need to. I feel like we need each other, especially when it's tough as it is.
All right. Well, thank you for the feedback.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chief.
Too much of a headache.